Charli and Dixie D'Amelio just announced their first big project after the Hype House, and we have all the details. I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Tony Moras, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. It was just confirmed by The Hollywood Reporter that our favorite TikTok stars Charli and Dixie D'Amelio will be launching a podcast together. This podcast will give fans a behind-the-scenes glimpse at the D'Amelio sisters' lives and topics on their minds. While there still isn't a name for this highly anticipated podcast as of yet, we do know that this show will be on the podcast network Ramble. Ramble is YouTubers Rhett and Link's podcast network that also features podcasts from the Try Guys, Smosh, Alicia Marie, and Emma Chamberlain.
Yeah, pretty good lineup to be associated with, right?
Yeah, I think this is great for them because these are like these are the legends of the YouTube space, and she's just joining the legends.
Yeah, and I mean, we love podcasts. We can't get enough of podcasts, and to like really hear them in this setting, hopefully it'll be very unfiltered, as usually podcasts are.
Yes.
Right? And also, who are the guests? That's the other thing.
We can maybe get some real tea from them on this
Yes.
podcast.
I mean, we know also that Charli and Little Huddy are like friendly. So imagine if they brought Little Huddy on and they both like talk about the breakup with Dixie as the moderator. Just
Hold tight,
thinking,
Gabby.
just putting some ideas out there.
Let's not break the internet.
Well, it sounds like the D'Amelio sisters are just as excited as their fans are to start this podcast. In a joint statement, the sisters said, quote, "We are so excited to share what's happening with us and our family since this all started. Most of what we share is less than a minute long, usually seconds, so it's actually going to be fun to be able to talk with our fans and break down everything going on in our lives, and we're excited to be part of the Ramble family."
I love that it's family.
Yes.
That's all this is. Everybody is part of a family or wants to be part of a family, you know.
I agree. And I'm really curious to hear. I mean, that is a challenge. The fact that these sisters have never really put out content out into the world that's like more than seconds or minutes long. I mean, a podcast is at least 30 minutes, an hour.
Right.
Like that's gonna really prove to us, I'm sure they can handle it.
This podcast news comes a month after the entire D'Amelio family announced that they are working on a reality show together. We don't know as of yet if the podcast will take the place of the reality show or if perhaps it'll be the storyline on this highly anticipated series. Something else we know about the D'Amelio sisters, which might be a topic of discussion on their podcast, is they claim their fame is what brought them closer together. The sisters were just on the cover of The Girls Live, where they opened up about how their sudden fame has actually strengthened their relationship.
Which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. I mean, they have an age gap between them. I believe it's like a year or 2 years, right? And normally siblings like with that big of a gap, like being in different schools or being in different grades, like it's really hard to find something to connect on. But the fact that they literally are doing the same thing, they were both part of the Hype House, they both left the Hype House, they're going through the same struggles together, so it makes sense they're bonding over this.
They're growing together because they both have like the same job.
The same job.
The same job.
They have the same job and they're crushing it. And you know, we saw them together on that anti-bullying thing they did once, which I thought was so great to see how they worked off of each other. And so yeah, I think that we're in for a real treat. In the interview, Charli explained that she and Dixie were already close pre-TikTok fame, but since they blew up, they realized that no matter what, they have each other's backs and no one can get in the way of that. And it looks like these sisters really do have each other's backs. While Charli still doesn't understand why she's famous, Dixie totally gets it, as she said in an interview that Charli is, quote, "just herself when she posts. She's natural. She doesn't try too hard to look perfect or be someone else," which is so true, and it really explains Charli's appeal.
Yeah, I think the conversations that they'll have on this podcast, that we'll get the natural of them. These people are very natural.
Yes.
Type people.
Yeah, so I feel like we're really gonna hear what's on their minds, what they're going through, what their day-to-day is like, and really get like the full tea every
I'd like to see
day.
some good family fights though, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, me too. Maybe they're starting off as friends, but maybe there'll be some drama. I mean, imagine if they started podcasting after like a big family fight. Like, what's that gonna sound like? I don't know.
So what do you guys think that the Dixie D'Amelio and Charli D'Amelio family podcast will be like? We love to hear what you think.
I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Tony Morris.
And follow us at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.